I often get asked, hey Daniel the Schmanuel, how do I speed up my reboot? Is that even possible? What do I do? What techniques? What habits? And look, you probably already know this answer. And it's yes, of course you can speed up your reboot. There's a ton of different things you can do, but you could be doing simple things like, cold showers, okay, meditations. Eating healthier. These things do help speed up the process because it's not, it's training the prefrontal part of your brain, the part of your brain that has been significantly weakened from prawn. But what else? What other things can we do to speed up recovery, to get where we want to be at faster? If you don't have 5 minutes to spare to watch this video right now, then I feel bad for you, man, because it's like, you can't take 5 minutes to possibly learn something that can help you a lot. How do you even plan on recovering? How do you even plan on bettering yourself? At that rate, it's like you're just gonna go watch a cat video. And you know what, no shame, you do you. But if you're ready to finally, bunker down, get this handled, let's dive into it, okay? First and foremost, probably one of the most important things you can do to speed things up is the 1% rule, okay? The 1% rule. People often overestimate what they can do in a day, and they severely underestimate what they can do in a longer period of time or in a year, okay? So what I'm getting at here is when you approach your reboot with a more conservative mindset and a mindset that is future oriented, like training like an athlete. Athletes train for, they try to get better in a year from now rather than getting better in a month. You actually recover faster. Here's why. If you try to do fad diets, okay, let's look at an example. Fad diets, okay? 6-pack in 6 days, in 6 weeks. Get shredded in just 24 hours. Get shredded in negative 4 days. Whatever fad, whatever it's talking about this diet, doing this weird thing. You see people on magazines with abs and they're on gear and they're juiced up, but they're just saying, I went keto and everything changed. So, approaching it with the mentality of trying to go crazy, I'm gonna go monk mode for this month and I'm gonna beat this forever, you are putting way too much on your plate right now. Okay, just like those fad diets. Mind you, you might do well for 3 weeks, but what's the point of doing well for 3 weeks if you're just going to be crap for the rest of the year? In fact, a year later from now, you're going to be in the same position you were the year before because your game plan was not something you could stick to. They've even tested this in dieting. They had one group of people in this one study they had 2 groups of people following the same exercise routines, generally the same demographics of people, and generally the same diets. However, one difference, Group A couldn't eat bread while Group B could, okay? And the adherence to the diet was insane. I think the people who had adhered to the diet, the Group B, the bread group, they adhered to the diet almost 5 times more than the people who had no bread. So although technically the other group was healthier, like they had a healthier diet because whatever bread is heavily processed and it's technically not the healthiest thing you could be eating, they actually, the Group B lost more weight because their approach was just more realistic. For some people, bread is just such a staple in their diet, they can't just get rid of it like that. So I want you to get better as soon as possible, but it's so counterintuitive. If you actually approach it in a conservative manner, you just take it day by day at a time, you focus on one thing at a time, focus on quitting porn, and then getting your health in check, and then getting this in check, instead of trying to do all this crazy micromanagement, doing 100 things at once, just focusing on getting 1% better at a time. By the end of the year, the percentages compound, right? So if you get 1% better each day, by the end of the year, what is that, 365%? No, it compounds. You're 3,800% better. That's the approximation, 3,800% better. So you could be 38 times better than you were today if you just got 1% better each day, just 1% better each day. Okay, so the 1% rule. Really, really apply a conservative approach, something you can stick to, okay? Moving on. Number 2. You can go 90 days, you can go 100 days, but if you don't solve the causal reasons why you've been using PMO, prawn, adult content as a coping mechanism, if you don't solve the actual coping part, why you've been coping, why you've been using, if you don't become aware of that and you don't fully understand it and you can't put the puzzle pieces together, if there's puzzle pieces missing into the reason why you've been so addicted, then you're just going to keep looping back over and over and over. You're going to keep looping back. You won't get better over time. And it doesn't mean that I'm not saying that, oh, like you find the root level and you'll be perfect, right? You find the root cause and you're perfect. No, there's no such thing as perfection. It's practically impossible. But what I do mean is that you're making progress. If you want to make progress and go from watching prawn hundreds of times, thousands of times a year, to then 10 times a year, to then 5 times a year, to then 1 times a year, to then you're not, just no more, boom, gone. If you want to get to that point, you need to really, really start looking into what's going on in here. Let me pry this open. Oh, what's this pain inside? Ugh, right? When I started NoFap, way long time ago, I think I was 19, and this is when I started dating my first love. I was having crazy panic attacks at like the 140-day mark, 130-day mark. I was having insane panic attacks because I was kind of just coming to terms with how I really felt being in my own body outside of all these distractions and stimulation. And it was kind of like this epiphany. It was very painful, but it was an epiphany as well to just kind of see like, damn, I've been running away from a lot of stuff. And even last year in fall, in November of last year, I was really going through a rough time consolidating my past and specifically my issues with my father. That I'm not going to dive in great detail right here, but I just had a hard time getting closure and kind of just closing the chapter in that part of my life, and it was giving me a lot of misery. It was hurting, and there would be times where I would just cry and bawl my eyes out for hours, just randomly, even though everything in my life was like good. I was like abstaining from prawn, I was working out, I was making money, most money I've ever made, but then here I am like crying for hours and hours each day, like what's going on? So get to the root cause. If you want to solve this, nip it in the butt for good. It's great to be replacing this crappy habit with better habits, but the pain that's there, deep down, the pain that's there, okay, we want to fix that. And this leads us beautifully into the final point, okay? And this is by far one of the fastest ways to see improvement and then changes in your reboot, and honestly, any part of your life, depending on what it is you're looking for. But that is coaching, one-on-one, personal coaching, okay? Look, there's tons of books out there, there's tons of videos out there, even videos on this channel that can help you complete your reboot. And there have been people who have been able to do that. I see them on the streams all the time in comments of like, hey man, I've completely changed your life completely changed my life by just watching your channel. And that brings me so much joy to hear that. And I want to keep hearing things like that. But look, here's the thing. If you've just been looping in this cycle over and over where you're making progress, but you just feel like you're plateauing, okay, and you really want to push through, or you kind of feel like you're getting the NoFap stuff handled, and now you're like, well, now what? What do I do now? Or you know, you're kind of just like a beginner and you want a big jump start. I'm telling you, coaching will work wonders for you. It will work wonders for you. It's one of the fundamentals for almost all successful people. If you look at just some iconic examples, Drake, okay, he was mentored by Wheezy, Lil Wayne, or Kanye was mentored by Jay-Z. And then Travis was mentored by Kanye. And then other artists were mentored, what's his name? Don Toliver, mentored by Travis. So in the musical scene, that's a current, right? You go to school to get coached by your professor. It's one of the most effective ways to learn because, look, I love books. Books, some of the most amazing things I've learned have come from books. Rational Male. It's great, okay? It's wonderful. But a book cannot really talk back to you in a personalized way. There are things in your life right now, pain points and fears, maybe anxieties and problems that are unique to you, okay? And a simple Reddit post, a simple video, sometimes it's just not gonna cut it. Sometimes you just need the extra help. And you know what? Acknowledging that like, hey, you know what? I do need this extra help. I got to do some coaching. I need to get this part of my life handled. That takes courage, okay? It takes strength to recognize where you're weak, and it takes strength to admit it and to do something about it. It's so easy to just ignore that and pretend that everything is okay, pretend that everything is normal, that you got it handled, and lie to yourself to puff up your ego, to not have to look in the mirror and face the reality. But I'm telling you, if you can look yourself in the mirror, if you're that type of person who can acknowledge that, hey, I'm the kind of person I might need some extra help here, that's totally fine. It's just like personal training, right? It's the same thing. That's why I'm now offering coaching here on the channel officially, okay? If you go and click the link down below, you'll learn more about one-on-one personal coaching, but I'll give you a quick rundown on how it'll work. After clicking that link, you will basically see more information on that page. Any questions that you have on there should be answered there. And then you'll fill up a brief form that's just gonna tell me some basic information about you and what it is you're looking for and who you are. And if you qualify after submitting that form, you will receive a free, okay? It's free, I'm not charging anything, it doesn't cost a penny to fill that out or to get a response back from me or anything like that. If you qualify, you'll receive a free 15 to 20 minute coaching call, okay? And we'll just be setting everything up through email and working out the details there. But yes, I'm basically giving you an opportunity to get a free coaching call with me, with Dan, one-on-one, personalized, and I just want to help you get out of this. Look, we're in a really chaotic world right now. We just, a couple months ago, we dealt with the quarantine pulling the rug under us, and a lot of us really went down on benders. A lot of us really fell hard. And some of you have been picking up the momentum, but guess what? Now it's like, now it's getting scary, thanks. Now it's getting scary. Now they're like, ooh, 700 cases a day, and all this crazy stuff's going on. You don't know what the world's what's gonna happen, how the world will unfold. So all that we can really do is just better ourselves and use the opportunities and resources around us to better ourselves. And think of it this way, what's the worst thing you could do by taking this opportunity to commit to yourself, to improve yourself and reach out to me and apply for a free coaching call? What's the worst thing that would happen? What would you do instead? Would you be playing COD? Would you be doing this? Why not just take this opportunity to possibly have your life turn around full 180 and just get a whole game plan going for yourself and really make the most of this insane world that we're living in right now. So that's everything today. Check out the link in the description. Apply as soon as you can, honestly, because this is kind of like a free opportunity. I'm gonna get flooded with tons of emails. So the sooner you apply, the sooner you get a chance to get a free call. So love you very much. Stay strong, my brother. Keep doing the good work. Catch you next time. Peace.